the Silver Dasher.
Morning. It is Tuesday. I'm in my car and I am door dashing. The past 3 days trying to attempt Walmart Spark is not working out the way I wanted to. But I think I'm going to come up with a different strategy. So anyway, let's go and we're going to do a normal breakfast DoorDash. And so I got the app here. We're going to start to see what kind of questions. It's been a while since I've done this. Ooh, no questions. So, okay. So, it is still very cold. It's below freezing, 31. But that's damn cold here in the deep south. It's been like this for 2 days, but it says it's going to warm up just a little bit. So, a little bit means about 10 degrees. So, anyway, I'm going to head over to my favorite spot for breakfast, which is usually Starbucks. We'll see what happens. Last time I went to Starbucks, it was for of all things, a shop and deliver. They must not have gotten their normal supplies. I picked up 12 gallons of whole milk from Dollar General and delivered to the Starbucks. And then unfortunately, when I got there, they were having a truck that was cleaning out their grease trap. And something must have happened, and the part of the load or whatever exploded, and it spewed wherever that mess is all over the parking lot. I drove over it, and I think it stunk to high heaven. I mean, it was bad. And it flooded the drive-through. And afterwards, I had to take my car to the car wash, and it still didn't remove all the smell. So I had to go home, and if you remember my car washing days, I had to use my under the body sprayer to get a lot of that stuff out. So anyway, heading to Starbucks, hopefully to get an order here real soon. So we'll see in a little bit. I got my first order after about 20-minute wait. It's on the Huddle House, but it's almost $10, but 10 miles. I decided to take it because to be honest, I need the money. Because I'm going out to Lincoln. Hopefully I'll pick up another order out there. Makes me come back, but on the Huddle House we go, and then to the customer. We'll see you in a little bit. Morning. Well, I just dropped off that Huddle House. Customers' directions were very clear. It was like a gray house with white steps. Sure enough, that's right. There it is, gray house with white steps. So, well, heading back to base. Hopefully, I pick up an order over here. If not, I'm just going to work my way over. Back home, it is cold. According to the car, it's 30 degrees. Customer met me at the door. She was all huddled up. I said, yeah, but yeah. Hopefully, they say it's not going to be as cold for the rest of the week. But I've had to go to our old house and turn on the water, let the water run a little bit so the pipes don't freeze. So, man, God. The one good thing about the cold weather, especially if it's freezing, it kills the fleas. Whatever, last month, we had our yearly shots for our cats, and then Come to find out, one of our cats had tapeworm. What? They never go out. Yeah, it's because you get it from the cats get it from eating fleas. So I must have, since I started door dashing, and I'm walking through people's yards, I'm picking up fleas. I never knew. We don't have carpet in the house except for one little strip in a foyer. But in our old house, we had nothing but carpet. I hated carpet because I got problems with sinuses and stuff like that. I'm recovering from a sinus infection right now. I'm still a little bit under, but yeah. Since we moved in a house with no carpet, my allergies have greatly improved. But yeah. So they must have jumped on me, and then jumped on the cat, and he bit. And when they bit, he ate the flea. So we have to now give him, since I'm going to be doing door dashing and other delivery type stuff, we have to put him on a regimen of a monthly flea medicine. So, anyhow, so haven't picked up an order here, so I'm about to hit back on the interstate and head back to base. To be honest, it felt good to make that little delivery, make a little money, because past 3 days, it's just been it's been like a desert. Walmart Spark I'm a little disappointed, to be honest, from what everybody's saying. You made a lot of money, but last week, I guess I was spoiled because I picked up last week. One time I picked up $100 order. It was a double pickup, and that was one of the few pickups that they actually delivered. And it was over 100 items for one order. It was a large order. In fact, before I got out 4 tubs in the back, and with the back seats folded down. I just had to loaded up everything in the back seat. But that was an 11. But for 2 double orders, that was a total confirmed earnings was $11.11. I remember that, and it was over $90 in unconfirmed tips. But 24 hours later, I got that $90. So I guess that kind of spoiled me because it's now Tuesday. Well, last week, Monday and Tuesday, I made $100 each day doing Walmart Spark. But yesterday when I did Spark, it was horrible. So I need to DoorDash for this week to make up for the money I need, because I try to make at least $350 a week. $400 will really make me happy, and I am super way behind. So anyway, on the interstate, heading back to base. Hopefully pick up an order real soon. See you in a little bit. Well, I got back to base and picked up a very small McDonald's for $3, but it's a short distance. It's something to do, something to get me started here. Plus, it gives me a chance to walk in McDonald's for a pit stop. So anyway, on McDonald's and then the customer. See you in a little bit. All right. Well, I dropped off that small McDonald's order to the business, one of the very first businesses I delivered to many times, but it's the one, if you remember, I constantly have problems with it if the customer is requiring a PIN number. And she's like, every time I deliver to this business PIN number, the app just goes to La La Land. Well, surprise, surprise. The app didn't go to La La Land. In fact, it looked like maybe they finally figured it out that if I'm going to that business, to that particular spot, that's my delivery zone. And the customer gave me the PIN number. Lo and behold, they completed the delivery. So it shocked the hell out of me. Because, it was almost every time I come over here and the customer required a PIN number, it was, oh my God. And then it takes, 5 minutes or even up to 10 minutes to get support to help you complete the delivery because the app doesn't work. So anyway, all right, that's my second order of the day. I got a little over an hour left in the dash. Hopefully I get to pick up at least 2 more orders. So head back to base right now. He was Starbucks, but I decided to make it Jack's. So let's see if I can get another order here real soon. So see you in a little bit. Well, just parked in Jack's parking lot and picked up another McDonald's order. This time it's $4 for 0.9 miles. So it should be pretty quick. I mean, 0.9 is probably just like right behind McDonald's. That's the way to say it. So on the McDonald's and to the customer. See you in a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Well, I just dropped off that McDonald's order and it was like went straight over, not very far. But as soon as I dropped it off, I picked up a Jack's order. So yeah, it's a little further away, but you know, it pays good. So on to Jack's and then to the customer after that. So see you in a little bit. This is a repeat customer of mine. Very nice lady. Oh, and my wife would love those decorations. My wife loves pink. Well, I just delivered that Jack's order to one of my favorite repeat customers. Even though she lives further out, I've met her a couple times. And the reason I remember her so much, if y'all remember from previous videos, is this lady, her husband ordered a hamburger steak from a restaurant called The Ark. And the order is hamburger steak with gravy and onions, but he didn't want the gravy and onions. He just wanted seasoning on it. And I thought that was just strange. You know, you order a hamburger steak with gravy and onions, but don't have the gravy and the onions on it. Basically, it's just hamburger. So, and yeah, the one time I got to meet her, she said, yeah, that was her husband. and she said they DoorDash a lot. And this is, you know, for me, this is either the 5th or 6th time I've been to her house. So anyway, I've got 20 minutes left in the morning dash. So I hope to, I'm actually on this, approaching the southern end of the gauntlet. So hopefully I'll run through the gauntlet on my way home. Hopefully I pick up an order. If not, then I will see you at the house. And I'll give you a summary of this morning's dash. So, either way, see you in a little bit. Well, that was a nice surprise. Just a quick update. The lady, you know, that I told you this is my favorite repeat customer, she gave me another $2 tip. This is the second time she's given me a tip. So, that made my day. So, so anyway, on to the gauntlet. And hopefully pick up an order. Keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully the gauntlet doesn't win. If not, I'll be heading home. So, see you in a little bit. Gauntlet didn't win. I'm going to Jack's. It's going to take me out to Lincoln. It's a little, but it's $9 and less than 8 miles, something like that. So on the Jack's and then to the customer, and that will be my last dash for this morning. So on the Jack's. See you in a little bit. Hello. I've been here many times, but you're now my third customer from this place. Yeah. Well, I just dropped off that Jack's order to a business. I've been here before. I didn't go to Lincoln. I actually just went to Riverside. It's not too far. It's on this side of the, same side of the bridge. So that's it for my dash. Just a little over 12 minutes over. So I'm going to head on home, give a brief summary. It's a pretty decent breakfast. I was very pleased, especially after the god-awful Spark days for the past 3 days. This kind of gives me a little bit of hope to make my quota for the week. So anyway, I'm now going to hit the interstate real quick and head home, and I'll give you a brief summary, and then we'll do a lunch dash later on this afternoon. So see you in a little bit. Well, I'm home. It was a pretty decent morning dash. I made a total of $37.17. Did 5 deliveries. That's pretty good. I usually do 4. So a total dash time of 2 hours and 44 minutes. So, off to a good start. So, going to now take a break, have an early lunch, and we're going to start this up at lunchtime. So, see you in a little bit. Well, welcome back. It's now time to do a lunch dash. So let's go ahead and start the app and see what it asks me. It's not asking me anything. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Usually my lunch base is Cracker Barrel. So we're going to head over there. And I see a lot of hot zones near the Cracker Barrel. So, I'm not going to take that. That was 2 stops, 12 miles for $7. No, I'm not doing it. Not for 2 stops, and that's a lot of time wasted. So, not taking that. So, all right. Now my acceptance rate, I think, is down to 92. So, anyway, on the Cracker Barrel, hopefully I get a better offer. So, see you in a little bit. Well, after waiting a few minutes, for a minute, I thought I was in the doghouse with DoorDash because I declined an order. But pick up a nice one, from Chick-fil-A for about $8-9 for about 3 miles. So on to Chick-fil-A we go. So see you in a little bit.
Somebody say hi to you when you walk in the door.
Yeah.
Every other time I've been in here, it's like, hey, can I help?
That's right.
Even if they're running somewhere and passing you by, they'll ask.
Yep. Well, I just dropped off that Chick-fil-A order to a repeat customer. I've been to their house, but this is about the 3rd or 4th time. They have right here out where the farm country is, and they have a nice acreage. But as soon as I dropped it off, I got an offer from McDonald's, which I refused. It was $3 for 4 miles. I said, no. But I did pick up an order right after that. I did take that one. even though the mileage is slightly more, but this is for almost $9 for just over 10 miles. So that one I took, and I'm heading now to the Mexican restaurant that's in downtown Pell City, right next to the courthouse, El Castor. Actually, their food's really good. Been to their I'm stuck. The train is coming. Can you hear it? Oh, it's an Amtrak train. Wow, that's the first time I've seen an Amtrak train. I can see all those people in there. So it should be a short train. Yep. It's the first time I've seen an Amtrak train. So anyway, on the Castor. See you in a little bit. Watch that step.
Watch that step now.
Yeah. Dropped off that El Cazador order, and it's up here in the mountains, almost Deliverance Country. I've been up in this area many times, but this is the furthest up the road that I've gone. You can't go much further where I went. So yeah, so I'm heading back into town. But I had an interesting, when I did that Chick-fil-A order pickup, had another DoorDasher come in and talking, and he's trying to get himself back up to platinum status. And from understanding the way he was explaining to me, he had been in the hospital and he's just got out and he's trying to get back into dashing. And I told him I'd been doing it about 3, I guess it's almost 4 months now. And he said, hey, the Walmart Spark here is horrible. See, that's another DoorDasher, and he's saying, he was describing exactly what I was experiencing. You get an order, pick up, pretty good, and then it gets canceled. Get another order, pick up, and gets canceled. Now he's claiming that the employees that do the loading of the carts to bring them out, they're going there and canceling the orders themselves. One, because either they don't want to bring it out at the time, or from what he's saying, they're playing favorites. So they're picking and choosing the good orders to the people they know or they favor. Now, this is what he's claiming, but I'm gonna be honest. There've been many times I've had the really good ordering, like big. I had a 45, it was a love drama. It was canceled. He says it's not Walmart. It's the individual Walmart employees there that are doing that pickup. They're the ones that control the canceling of the orders, and because they said they can't pack it or whatever, and so they cancel it. So I don't know, Walmart. You need to investigate that. If that's the case, there may be some inside work being done, because this is many people that were telling me that this Walmart is bad. In fact, I talked to a couple of employees inside. They said I've talked about their pickup is bad. So what's going the hell on? So that's the Pell City Walmart, and I've seen it firsthand. That's the first time Spark driver. And that's horrible. So anyway, it's now almost 12. I'm almost got just over 3 hours left in the dash. So I Actually, I've been making the way I'm going back to base is I've made a complete circle. I've headed. I'm actually up north now of the town, so I'm heading back south. So I'm heading towards the Chick-fil-A area. So hopefully, by the time I get closer, I picked up an order. But there were, that one order that I've now refused. People should be happy, or not too happy, because some of these orders that you're seeing are still slightly underwater. But hey, you got to deal with the market I'm in. But I refuse the double order, the stacked order, to go to 2 different restaurants. There was like a Burger King, Little Caesars, for $7 to drive over 12 miles. No, that's 2 stops. That's just the time wise. And then I refused that $3 McDonald's order that was over 4 miles. So, but like I said, I accepted this one. It was an El Caso. It was almost $9 for just over 10 or 11 miles. So, that was pretty close. But that's $9. That's when you don't get that many offers or orders during the day. That's pretty good. That's the $9 is almost double a regular offer that I get all the time. So, whew, man, what a day. It's warmed up a little bit. It's above 40 now. Still, but at least the wind is not blowing. If the wind was blowing, it would have been really, really been bad. So, anyway, now I'm on the main drag back, head towards town. So hopefully I pick up my order when I get close. So we'll see in a little bit. Well, I'm getting close. I just picked up it's a small order. The mileage was slightly over the $1, but it's a shop and deliver. Something different. I'm going to Sally Beauty. Seems like I'm a beauty expert now. I'm a cosmetic expert. This is just like on Halloween. But what I do is I get the sales lady or the salesperson, whoever's there, to help me find the stuff. It was pretty quick. So, but on to Sally Beauty. This is the second time I've been there. See a little bit. Well, I almost made a boo-boo. Well, first of all, it was not a shop and delivery. It was just a pickup. So that was really easy. And then where I dropped it off, I said, I know I've been to this place. So I went to that place. It was a beauty salon, but it was the wrong beauty supply. Hair salon, I should say. There was another one right next to it. It was that one I went to. So I just walked across the parking lot and went into it. So now I know there are 2 hair salons right after past the auto place. So, and then just as I completed it, I picked up another order right here at the Thai place, it was just right here. So, anyway, time to pick up the Thai food and head to the customer. So, see you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off the Thai food to the local flower shop, and just as I delivered it, an order came up for Little Caesars for $6 for over 12 miles. I thought, no, I'm not doing that. So I may be black flagged for a while before I get another offer. So anyway, so I'm gonna stop at McDonald's, park there for a little, and see if I pick up an order from around there. If not, then I'll go on to another stop. So anyway, hopefully I get an order here real soon. So see you in a little bit. Well, that paid off. Made a quick stop at McDonald's. Or actually do a pit stop and then
in 200 feet, turn right onto US 231 North.
And I picked up a pickup order at Home Depot for $22 for 11 miles. So, oh yeah, definitely doing that. So on to Home Depot we go. So, and I looked, it's not a shop and deliver, it's a pickup. So we'll see how this turns out. See you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that Home Depot order to the very nice, I've been to this neighborhood before. If y'all remember in a video where I delivered to a very nice house, I called it looked like the Beverly Hillbillies. And then of course someone got offended that I shouldn't be calling people hillbillies. And I said, well, you know, I'm old school. This is from a TV show. And if you're watching, go look at Me TV or Retro TV, whatever, the Beverly Hillbillies. And from the TV show, the house on the TV show, that house here in this neighborhood looked exactly like it, you know, gate and all. So I wasn't calling anybody a hillbilly. I was referencing the show. In fact, the lady who was, turns out to be, I think it was just a housekeeper or helper, she knew exactly what I was talking about because she laughed too. So anyway, very nice neighborhood. That particular section of the neighborhood is not on the waterfront. Over on the left side of that neighborhood is the waterfront houses. It's probably where the more expensive. But her house was very nice too. Nice big, you know, we have a driveway that, you know, double driveway where you just, you know, curves around and comes out, so you come in and go out the other end. Very nice, single level, not really a ranch style. You know, my parents' house is a ranch style, but very nice, single level, very quiet. The neighborhood's been around, looks like it's been around for a long time because the trees are, well, you know, looks like just a grove of oak trees everywhere, but they're huge and old, you know, and very peaceful, very, very serene. And so, yeah, but that was a very nice place to go to. So, but yeah, hey, $22 for 11 miles for deliver from Home Depot, and she was very appreciative because what it was a shop and deliver. It was shop and deliver. All she needed was 2 command hooks, but the big thing was she needed a 57-gallon tote. That thing barely fit in my car. I had to pack up my totes out of the way, and therefore that tote to get in there. But it fit. So, but she said I was a lifesaver. She must be. Plus, she had another gentleman there, like a handyman or something like that. He was in there working on shutters and, you know, making some repairs. So, plus she had 2 cute little dogs, little Shih Tzus, I think. But yeah, she said she was very appreciative of bringing that tote over there. So yeah, always helpful to have a happy customer. So now I'm heading back into town. I am south of town, so I'm going to hit the south end of the gauntlet. So I'm going to run the gauntlet and head towards my normal base of operation, which is Cracker Barrel, which is on the north end of the gauntlet. So hopefully I can pick up an order before I get there. And I got an hour and a half left in the dash, so keep your fingers crossed and pray that the gauntlet does not win. So here we go, run the gauntlet. See you in a little bit. Well, the gauntlet didn't win. Just got picked up an order for Milo's Burgers. It's $11 for 9 miles. You know, that's not, the dollars greater than the mileage. I know some people say, it needs to be double. Look, I'm in a market with 13,000 people. You know, I rarely get orders. I've learned now not to take the really ridiculous underwater orders or the stacked orders that don't even pay that much. So, but if it's over $8 within a few miles, I'll take that, because that's when you're on average on my lunch, I get 6 offers. So if I can average on all those offers, at least, as much as I can. So yeah, I'll take it. So anyway, on the Milos and then the customer. We'll see you in a little bit. Well, just dropped off that Milos to a repeat customer of mine. In fact, she came out. I had to call her. She came out to greet me. What makes it unique, though, the only time I've been here before is I was bringing her in the morning her Starbucks coffee. So, so she came out. She came out, and I told her, well, this is new. I usually bring you Starbucks. Now I'm bringing you Milos. She kind of laughed at that. So, so yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. So I had to call her, but she's got dogs, and beware of dog, and that's why she always meets me at the outside. So yeah, but yeah, but this, I'm in the neighborhood where, if you remember in the last video, that I delivered to an Airbnb right on the river. Well, this is the same neighborhood, except it's not on the river. It's further into the woods, but I'm right here, and this is the all these are houses. I guess most of these are rentals. There may be some owners here and all that, but it's right on the river. I mean, it's a deep edge, cliff, and they're built right on the edge. And of course, they all have boat docks, and it's just across the bridge from the city limits. So I'm about to get on the bridge to head back into town. So I'm about to head back, and I'm going to be approaching the south end of the gauntlet again. So last run, gauntlet didn't win. So hopefully it doesn't win this time. So I got just under an hour left in my dash. So I'm going to run the gauntlet, head towards Cracker Barrel, and see what happens. But yeah, it's warmed up now. It's now in the 50s. It was 31 this morning. But boy, it's turned out to be a beautiful day. Barely a cloud in the sky. The water's calm. There's no wind. And also, for those that that don't know, today is Veterans Day. My dad was a vet. He was in the Army for 30 years. I remember every Veterans Day he would get together with his old Army buddies, and they would plan out they plan out where they would go out to eat for lunch, to see which restaurants offer the best deals. But usually it was back then there was still a Golden Corral where they used to live. They all go to Golden Corral, and they all gathered there. So yeah, and I saw a recent video about younger veterans sitting there. They made like a TikTok video showing sitting there making their plans of which restaurant they're going to go to because it offers the best meal or best deal. So anyway, yeah, today's Veterans Day. A lot of people don't realize why November 11th is is Veterans Day, because I think if I understand correctly, it comes from World War One. It's Armistice Day. This is the day that World War One was officially declared over, and it was on the November 11th, on the 11th hour and the 11th minute. And that was the official. Then it ended. In fact, I think I saw a YouTube video where they had a recording of they were still shelling and bombarding, and then at 11:11, boom, went silent. It was a recording. So, yeah, Veterans Day is Armistice Day. So, anyway, well, happy Veterans to all the veterans out there. The city near where I live, Birmingham, from what I understand, also has the oldest running Veterans Day parade. I know a lot of cities have veteran parades and stuff like that, but Birmingham, I think, has the oldest running. So, anyway, so heading back to the gauntlet, and hopefully the gauntlet doesn't win. Keep your ring crossed. So let's run the gauntlet and see who wins. See you in a little bit. Well, about 15 minutes left in the dash. I picked up an order for Buffalo Wild Wings. I forgot to take a snapshot of the order, but it was not underwater. It was like, $12 for 8 miles. I'm actually I'm heading west. I'm going to Moody. So, we're just going to hop on the interstate. But this is the last dash for me. And it's been a pretty good dash. Feeling pretty good about it, because especially after the disaster of the past 3 days of Walmart Spark. I mean, 3 full days, almost 18 plus hours, only get 4 orders in those 18 hours. Had several cancellations, so yeah, I'm going to rethink Walmart Spark or come up with a different strategy. I think my strategy is going to be different. I was trying to treat Walmart Spark like DoorDash, be at Walmart and wait. I don't think I can do that. Since I live so close to Walmart, and I live just over a mile away, I think from now on I'm just going to sit at home and work on my computer, work on videos, whatever. Have the phone in front of me, and I'll accept orders. And because I did that a couple times, and a couple times it worked. And one time, by the time I parked and they canceled the order, that was that string of 4 orders, 3 or 4 orders in a row that they canceled. So I think from then on, so I'll just if I'm going to do Walmart Spark, like all day Sunday or something like that, I'm just going to plant my butt at home, so I can do some work, and then let them, send me over. Because by the time if it's a pickup or shopping, I'm 2 minutes away from the store, and if it's a pickup, hell, lots of times I can't even start the trip until I'm 10, 15 minutes away. So anyhow, so I'm here, last dash. We're gonna head to Moody. It's Buffalo Wild Wings, and then I need to do a couple errands afterwards. Then meet you back at the house and give a summary of how today went. So see you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off the Buffalo Wild Wings, and it was a $17 order. And I took it and finished my dash, and it took me to to the next town, Moody. This is where my old house is. In fact, I'm going to stop by there real quick, check on things. But if you remember on the previous video, I mentioned that, you know, there was a neighborhood that I'd never been in this town for 20 years. Neighborhood I've never been to, but the mystery for me was there was no mailboxes at this house. Well, mystery solved. I found the mailboxes. It looks like they have a little mini mailbox stand every few hundred feet with 8 mailboxes and 2 big boxes supposedly for packages. And they're right there on the side of the road. So why they did that? But it's a really highfalutin area. It's high end. So I guess the developer who did that, so the mail can still be delivered, but not having to stop, because it's a huge subdivision. But it's like very nice house every 50 feet, and it goes half a mile, and it goes in a circle, and there's on both sides. So there's about 200, 300 houses, and very similar to the layout of the subdivision my old house is at, which I just happened to be going to go over there and check on the house real quick. But you know, we have mailboxes, you know, at the old house, you know, in our new house we have mailbox. But I don't know, what y'all think, you know, if you're paying a high price for a house, you know, let's say these houses, I assume they're at least $300,000 to $400,000 houses. All right. Would you want to pay for a house that much, but have to walk, depending on where your house is, you have to walk either, you know, 10 feet to the mailbox or 100 feet to the mailbox? I don't know. If I'm paying for a house, you know, $400,000, I want that damn mail to come to my front door. And my packages, you know. Wow. You know, I'm not going to walk, you know. And it's relatively flat, you know, subdivision, but towards the beginning it is on a slight incline, you know, down, you know, incline going down. But if I'm paying for a house in a highfalutin subdivision, I don't want to walk or drive. Some probably have to drive, because, you know, three houses down to get my mail, because the hub, the little tiny hub that services 8 houses, you know, is right there. And like I said, depending on where your house is in your little hub, you have to drive down to it, get out of your car, and they don't have, you know, shade or anything for weather. They're just there. It's like an overgrown. You ever seen the mailboxes that are like at strip malls? They have it's just a box, and there's, you know, several a big box with several little doors to represent for all the strip mall stores. That's what that thing looks like. Every few hundred feet on either side of the road are those mailboxes. So anyway, kind of curious what everybody would think. You know, make a comment, or if you have something like that, you know, tell me if I'm wrong. Is it convenient? So anyway, so I'm going quickly. I'm in my old neighborhood. Quickly going over to the old house, check on it real quick, since I'm happen to be over here. And then I'm going to do a quick errand after that, and then head home, and then we'll do a final evaluation of today. So in the meantime, hang tight. We'll see you in a little bit. Well, I'm finally home after doing all those errands and to stop by Walmart for my wife. So this was a very interesting day. I'm going to be honest that felt good, because I was busy and I made some good money today compared to, you know, the beginning of this week and the weekend. It just I'm way behind. So for today, this afternoon dash, I made a total of $79.92. I did 7 deliveries for a total dash time of 4 hours and 20 minutes. And on top of that, the breakfast, I made over $100 today. So that's really good. That really makes up for the lack of opportunities at Walmart Spark. So man, what a day. I'm tired. I stopped by McDonald's, the one I usually dash from, picked up something for my wife and I. So, but I'm going to DoorDash tomorrow. So once again, happy Veterans Day to all your veterans. And I hope you enjoyed coming with me today for the adventures and misadventures. If you like this video, please select like. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, I urge you to subscribe to the channel and help me build this channel. So anyway, I'm going to call it the evening. I'm going to head inside. We're going to have McDonald's for dinner. And we'll see you tomorrow.